11 archaeological discoveries deep in the jungle that shook human history. Welcome to the mysterious universe. Dear friend, from the mysterious ancient stone circle of Stonehenge in England to the magnificent structures that defy the flow of time. That is the Giza Pyramid Complex in Egypt and the massive Nazca Lines in Peru. All remain mysteries that have lasted for years, yet science still cannot unravel them. A few years ago, thanks to advancements in science, the global archaeological community discovered many new things about the world. However, the new discovery seems to raise even more questions. The journey of scientific exploration still has a long way to go in uncovering the history of Earth and past human civilizations. These archaeological discoveries reveal that Earth, the planet we inhabit, holds countless strange and mysterious secrets. So, what have scientists recently discovered among those hundreds of thousands of mysteries? Let's explore the mysterious universe in today. The Great Maya City. Scientists have just discovered a previously unknown ancient Maya city, hidden deep in the forests of southern Mexico. The city stands out with its pyramid-like skyscrapers, majestic rows of stone columns, and a vast square surrounded by monumental architectural structures. And other structures arranged in nearly concentric circles. Stone column. The Mayan civilization is renowned for its advanced calendar and mathematical systems, flourishing in southeastern Mexico and parts of Central America. The widespread political collapse led to the decline of this civilization for centuries before the Spanish arrived. After that, they launched military campaigns, and by the end of the 17th century, the last stronghold of the Maya in Mexico had fallen. Leading scientist Ivan Sprague claims that the Ocontin site features a core area situated on elevated land, surrounded by vast waterlogged marshes. Some structures are pyramid-shaped, reaching heights of up to 15 meters. The city also has a ball court, where ancient ball games popular throughout the Maya region were held. In this game, players had to pass a rubber ball representing the sun across the court without using their hands, then guide it through a small hoop. Spratt stated that this game is believed to hold significant religious meaning. His research team also discovered additional central altars in the area near the Rariquina River. This place may have been designed for community rituals, though further research is needed to clarify the cultures that once existed here. He stated that based on the excavated materials from the structures, this site likely declined between 800 and 500 AD. At the same time, this may also reflect ideological and demographic shifts, leading to the collapse of Maya societies in the region by the 10th century. Ancient treasure dating back 1,500 years. Spanish scientists have recently uncovered an impressive archaeological treasure in the Oral area of Rangreth, Andalusia, including a Roman villa, an ancient pottery kiln, a burial site, and notably, a large mosaic of immense artistic value. According to reports, throughout the past 2 months of February and March, the archaeological team worked tirelessly to thoroughly excavate the entire area. Most of the architecture of the 1,500-year-old ancient villa and the nearby pottery kiln has been excavated, while the cemetery area is expected to be studied in the near future. Recently, a research team led by Dr. BDH Jan successfully unearthed an artifact regarded as the most valuable in this archaeological treasure trove. This is a precious mosaic painting with an impressive size of 9 by 12 meters, fully showcasing the opulence of the villa's owner. The artwork is a mosaic composed of thousands of multicolored tiles, ranging in size from 1 mm to 1.5 centimeters, cut from marble, glass, ceramic, and seashells. This type of mosaic artwork is not only a symbol of the exquisite craftsmanship of ancient times but also reflects the perseverance of the artisans, as the creation process demands immense effort in assembling the materials that form the painting. And they were found in many places, gathered piece by piece, along with various uniquely colored gemstones imported at an exorbitant cost. According to documents, llama mosaics have been discovered at several archaeological sites in the Mediterranean region, Africa, and the United Kingdom. Pigeons often appear in luxurious villas or public buildings. Therefore, this site is likely a highly valuable cultural heritage that needs to be preserved and protected. Because it may contain many crucial details that help reconstruct the history of the crash. The 137ton boulder. A sight that makes everyone stop and gaze. This rock is located in the Hoy-Elgeth forest in northeastern France and is named Chambering Rock. It is a thick and massive boulder. The Unearthed forest is renowned for its strange and unique geological wonders. The chambering rock is the most famous wonder due to the mysteries surrounding it. This is how you can analyze the method of moving this 137-ton stone. Why does this phenomenon occur? According to reports, the chambering rock is a 7-meter-long granite block weighing up to 137 tons. Despite its massive size, one would expect the boulder to be as solid as a rock, immovable, but the reality is quite the opposite. The interesting thing is that anyone, even the weakest person, can move the chambering rock if they know how to choose the right point of impact. Dr. Macquarie, a researcher at the London Institute of Physics, UK, shared. The key is to accurately pinpoint the vibration point of this rock. Assuming the rock lies on a fairly narrow piece of land, you can imagine it being split into two parts. There is a horse standing on the left side of the pivot and another on the right. Both want to pull the stone toward themselves. However, the force blocks on both sides of the axis are arranged to create a clockwise rotational effect. Entirely due to the counterclockwise rotation effect. This is like two people sitting at opposite ends and pulling on a rope, with the pulling force perfectly balanced. But just a slight push at the other end is enough to set it in motion. Simply put, just lean your back against the top part of the rock and use pushing force to move it away from its original position. However, not everyone can lift the chambering stone when testing their strength. Many people have come here, but not everyone knows this secret to success. Bronze Age treasure discovered in Swedish forest. During a walk in the forest, Thomas Cushing, a Swedish cartographer, accidentally discovered a large Bronze Age treasure trove with many nearly intact pieces of jewelry. When he first dug them up, he thought they were all just clam shells. After a moment of thought, the man suddenly realized that all these items were brand new and came up with the guess that this might be an old warehouse. Finally, he decided to report the incident to the authorities as required by regulations. Shortly afterward, a team of experts consisting of historians and archaeologists from the Cultural Management and Development Department of Sweden's Gothenburg University stepped in. The experts arrived at the scene and confirmed that what Mr. Cushing discovered was indeed a treasure from the Bronze Age. This treasure consists of 50 artifacts of various sizes, primarily jewelry along with some burial items interred with the deceased. These pieces of jewelry are estimated to date from around 750 to 500 BCE. Exquisitely crafted from premium materials and designed to stand the test of time. Professor Johan Lynch from Gothenburg University commented based on the excavated artifacts. Most of these items are associated with a high status, demanding woman. In this era, Sweden was a hub for metalworking, home to thousands of skilled artisans. But to own such exquisite jewelry, you still have to spend a considerable amount of money. However, this treasure remains shrouded in mystery, appearing deep within the jungle. Ancient tribes often buried objects near lakes and ponds as a way to show reverence. Why is there a horse spur in this treasure trove, when this type of spur only appears in Denmark, Sweden's neighboring country? Venera Manor, an expert in artifact research in the Vättergatan region, shared. This is the second time archaeologists have discovered Bronze Age artifacts in Sweden. In the mid-1980s, 6 drums were excavated at Vättergatan. The discovery of these artifacts is considered a promising sign for archaeologists. When studying the Scandinavian period, despite numerous efforts, very few historical records from this era have survived. It is only known that this period lasted until 1700 BC, then continued until 500 BC before the world entered the Iron Age. This treasure remains a great mystery, leaving scientists unable to decipher it. A massive stone sphere with a diameter of about 3 meters, containing an exceptionally high iron content. Recently discovered in a forest near the town of Javido in Bosnia. According to Polish researcher Zbigniew Maniczyk, this rock is a man-made artifact. This is evidence of the existence of a forgotten civilization from 1,500 years ago. Many stone spheres remained until the very 20th century. But most of these stone blocks were destroyed in the 1970s due to rumors that they contained gold inside. According to published information, in 2005, Dr. Zbigniew Maniczyk shocked the archaeological research community with a groundbreaking discovery. When he declared that the hills in the Vachoko Valley of Bonia were actually Kujitik. consists of ancient pyramids interconnected by a complex network of tunnels. While some scientists remain skeptical of Dr. Zmbor Manojic's claims, the government has allocated funding to support the excavation project in the Vichoko Valley. The then Prime Minister of Bosnia, Nezat Brankovic, stated, "We know the world mocks us, but no government can turn a blind eye to meaningful actions." The European Association of Archaeologists, Anthony Harding, at that time, describing the Vichoko Valley excavation project was an extremely challenging task. "I received information that these hills might conceal an archaeological site. From the Bronze Age or Iron Age, the possibility of a 12,000-year-old structure existing underground remains incredibly vague. And anyone with a basic understanding of archaeology or history would recognize that." In 2016, critics once again dismissed Dr. Oman Nagik's claim. Scientist Mandy Atwood from the University of Manchester, UK, said, "Back then, it might not have been man-made but rather formed naturally through the accumulation of minerals. However, the truth behind it remains an unsolved mystery. And for centuries, scientists have tirelessly worked to unravel this mystery." When it comes to traveling in Vietnam's northern mountainous region, certain familiar destinations surely come to mind for everyone. With a majestic, pristine, and utterly untouched natural mountain landscape. Few people know that for the past century, an ancient stone path has lain hidden beneath a canopy of maple leaves. It looks like a frame taken from a beautiful film or a page of a fairy tale. This is one of the paths you can choose when exploring and checking in. This road lies within the territory of Lai Chau province and is also a route frequently used by ethnic minority communities. People can travel between Nhu County San Village and Ma Pha Village in both directions. This road is called Pavi Stone Road, according to information posted on the official electronic portal of Lao Cai province. This road is named after the former French official Auguste Pavie. They began building the road in 1920 and completed it after 7 years. The entire structure was manually built using large stone blocks and pebbles, stretching a total of 80 kilometers. The road isn't very wide, even the most open stretch is just over 3 meters. The winding Pavi Road cuts through dense primeval forests, endless stretches of cardamom groves, and the majestic mountain ranges of the northwest region. However, this path is not difficult at all to travel. The purpose of this forest trail is to transport goods by human labor. Horses and cattle are often grazed in the border area between Lao Cai and Lai Chau provinces. Therefore, the paving stones are smoothed to make movement more convenient. Through countless ups and downs, enduring the long and relentless passage of time. The section of Pavi Road under construction is now only about 14 kilometers long. The stone surface remains unchanged, yet now cloaked in a faded layer of moss. The residents of Ban Trang Ma 6 and Ban Trang Ma 4 in the provinces of Lao Cai and Lai Chau still use this road for travel. Due to its special historical value, in 2019's Committee of Bat Hot District, Lao Cai Province, and the people. Surveys have been conducted to develop tourism along the Pavi route. The research findings indicate that the ancient stone road has helped unlock the local tourism potential. The two districts also need to preserve the cultural and historical values of the ancient Dako route. The blunt nature of the KY. For centuries, people have whispered tales of a treasure-laden city hidden deep within the dense jungles of Quito, Honduras. This city is believed to have been home to a thriving civilization, but it mysteriously vanished around 600 years later due to a curse. However, historians believe the true cause was the epidemic diseases brought by Europeans during their colonial invasions. The American explorer Theodore Mott once believed this was the legendary White City, thought to have mysteriously vanished. Legend has it that long ago, there was a strange deity who often abducted women from the area and made them pregnant. That woman will give birth to children who are half human, half demon. However, children are often dragged into conflicts to exact revenge. The locals also told Mott about a massive temple hidden deep in the forest, called Choro Tigas. However, that information would never be revealed when he committed suicide in 1954. Archaeologists have uncovered the entrance to a pyramid buried deep in the dense jungle of Guatemala. And they discovered a set of remains along with 2 sums of money belonging to a noblewoman. The analyses show she was a Maya queen. Because the queen was buried among countless precious antiquities, beside her were also two sets of a child's remains. The heartbreaking remains indicate that the child was sacrificed and buried alongside the queen upon her death. In a small, hidden corner, beside the remains of two noblewomen. This fossil was discovered in Homa, an area that has revealed numerous relics of the ancient Maya civilization. This civilization flourished for nearly 3,000 years in the Mesoamerican region and reached its golden age between 250 and 900 AD. The Maya astonished posterity with their profound knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and the colossal cities they built. Built with machinery at a time when most of the world was still living in primitive tribes. Here are the two English translation options as requested. Among them is a pyramid containing the remains of a queen. Dr. Francisco Ishadaberry, the excavation project director from Churin American University, shared. They believe that inside the pyramid where the queen rests also lies the tomb of her husband, a king of the Maya civilization. The entire pyramid can hold up to 5 remains of the kings. Not to mention the other remains of the family members and those who were sacrificed alongside them. The year 1903 marked the discovery of a coffin containing the remains of a sleeping beauty in the forest. During the excavation of an ancient tomb near the Limmat Surat River in Switzerland, they discovered. Inside the ancient tomb were the remains of a man along with ancient weapons such as armor, swords, spears, and bows and arrows. But archaeologists believe this is actually just a secondary tomb. Like the terracotta warriors guarding Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum, but on a much smaller scale. It wasn't until much later that people discovered the main tomb located not far from the auxiliary one. In the dense forest, ancient trees tower majestically. The notable detail is that the tomb owner's remains were buried inside a hollowed-out tree trunk, located just about 80 meters from the auxiliary grave. When they opened the coffin buried in the tree hollow, the archaeologists were utterly astonished by what they found inside. When the body of the female owner inside the coffin remained intact, as if she had merely been asleep for thousands of years. She was an elegant woman who passed away at the age of 40. She was draped in dozens of thick layers, her face serene as if she had slipped into eternal sleep within the coffin. Thus, the fairy bestowed upon her a special enchantment, a 1,000-year slumber deep in the forest. Scientists say the woman buried in the coffin belonged to the Chantique people. The Chantique people of the Stone Age were renowned for their burial custom of interring tribe members in coffins made from hollowed-out tree trunks. This woman was determined to have died 2,200 years ago, when she was just 40 years old. The analysis of Duang's remains revealed that she had hardly engaged in heavy labor throughout her life, indicating her exceptionally noble social status. The jewelry buried with the woman included a bronze bracelet and an exquisitely crafted bronze belt. And an exquisitely beautiful necklace, skillfully woven from amber and glass beads. From then on, this woman was regarded as belonging to royal or noble lineage. Researchers analyzed this woman's teeth and discovered that during her lifetime, she had a preference for sweet foods and starchy-rich foods. Over 2,000 years ago, only the nobility had the chance to savor such exquisite delicacies. However, the reason why the beauty's body remains intact after thousands of years remains an unsolved mystery to this day. The archaeologist hypothesized that deep within the dense jungle where she was buried, there might exist special compounds that help preserve the body, slowing its decomposition compared to normal conditions. Since ancient times, the sacrificial rituals and beliefs of the Cham people have always been shrouded in mystery. The doctrine of their religion believes that the soul is immortal. The soul will transmigrate from one life to another after death. Therefore, if the ashes are placed close to the hollow of a tree, the spirit of the deceased will receive the protection of the tree deity, making it easier for them to reincarnate. Some Buddhist scholars even assert that, perhaps the Chen Tik people were the first tribe in history to practice gender equality. However, the practice of tree burial was typically reserved for the nobility. And their lifestyle habits in ancient Europe have made many mysteries surrounding this tribe no longer puzzling. When arriving at the Ruokolahti forest in southern Karelia, located in southeastern Finland, we will witness an unbelievable sight as the massive Kamakivi rock balances precariously on another stone slab. With just a tiny point of contact between the two rocks, yet Kamakivi stands firmly, never toppling to the ground. Despite many people trying to push with all their might, the Kamakivi boulder stood motionless as if rooted to the ground, not shifting even a single millimeter. Strange rock. True to its name, this rock looks as if it could topple at any moment, yet it has stood firm for decades without the slightest shift. In Finland, there are some folk anecdotes passed down orally that tell of the Kamakivi rock is the work of giants. They possess extraordinary strength, capable of effortlessly hurling massive boulders and creating the spectacular sights we admire today. Many experts and scientists have conducted studies to understand the reason why the Kamakivi rock can balance so strangely without ever toppling. Geologists believe that the Kamakivi rock was formed when it was carried and then left here by glaciers during the last ice age. About 12,000 years ago, glaciers moved north of the Ruokarati area, and it is believed that this process formed the Kamakivi rock. This oddly shaped rock has stood firmly in the depths of the forest for countless years, defying all conventional laws of physics. Archaeologists have discovered a mysterious creature fossil deep in the Amazon rainforest. However, no one could determine what species that giant creature belonged to. Or just by looking at its appearance, one can see this as an extremely fierce creature with sharp teeth and crude, five-fingered hands. Perhaps this is a giant creature that once dominated Earth hundreds of millions of years ago.